Good morning, everyone. Welcome to session today. On behalf of IIMT College of Engineering and Institution Innovation Council, I am Sakun Garg, honored to welcome all of the faculty members and students who have gathered today for the session on entrepreneurship as innovators. It is a truly privilege to have the opportunity to learn from an experienced person, Mr. Harish Sharma, who is working as a director in Vats IPR Services Private Limited, carrying more than 15 years of experience on IPR counsel, registered patent, attorney, and facilitators. Now, without taking much time, I am requesting to our respected speaker, sir, please start their uh, delivery so that our faculty members and students will take advantage. Please, sir, welcome. Welcome, sir. Start.
Thank you so much, Shakun sir, and good afternoon to all faculty members and the students. It's a great honor and privilege for me to present my views on entrepreneurship as innovators and importance of intellectual property rights today with all of you. So we just start with the first slide. Yes. So today we will discuss about entrepreneurship as innovators. Okay. So before starting, we just need to first what is the concept of entrepreneur and what is the importance and what is the roles of an entrepreneur? What are the aspects first an entrepreneur should look before entering into a business or starting any enterprise, any organization. So we will just discuss all these in our slides. So first thing about an entrepreneur, it must be a decision maker and risk bearer. Means it should be sharp minded and it should have a vision to understand what will be the future technology, what will be the complication in that technology while implementing that technology. At the same time, what will be the risk, and if there will be any kind of loss or any kind of shortcomings while implementing that technology, what will be the solution for that. It also must be strategized and must be already planned before starting any idea and working on any idea, on any research project. So before entering into any project, we have these things. What is the risk management? What will be the decisions? What will be the solution if any shortcomings will come? So how these things will be achieved? How we will plan and make a strategy to make a solution and to come with a novel and inventive ideas. So firstly, we need to check what are the gaps, white spaces in that technology. So as an entrepreneur, while we have already the players in the market and we are in the competition that is having already known people and big markets in this global area, in this globalization. So first we need to check what is the missing and what is the white space, the services or product or anything that is provided by already the players is in the market, where they are lacking and what are the gaps and the white spaces. So after the decision and risk bearer, it should be a gap filler. It should be a good analyzer who can check the white spaces. Further, the next point, innovators must have the solution, must have the idea how to fill that gaps, how to overcome these white spaces by providing services, products, anything that is planning by that entrepreneur. Either it belongs for any service or either it belongs for any product or any kind of manufacturing. So first step, it should be decision maker, it should be risk bearer, it should be a good manager of risk managing capacities. Second thing, after checking all these things, there must be check of white spaces. Then the final stage to work on that white spaces by inventing new products, new idea, and new services. So these are the concept of an entrepreneur, what we expect. So another thing comes, what is the role? When we decide all these things, what is the role of an entrepreneur? So an entrepreneur must be a dynamic person. Means it cannot work in a stationary state where we have a fixed routine, fixed calls, and all things that is like usual. It must be performed all things dynamically. He must know where he can get the solution, where the centric point there he can see and he can have the better idea to get to receive the innovation as a novel and inventive way. So as an entrepreneur, you must be innovative and must be dynamic and must have something that is unusual and exceptional for others. That is the person who is ordinary and skilled in that art. You must be beyond that person, and you must have more potential and more skill than the normal person skilled in the art. So once an entrepreneur have these things, the once the entrepreneur have an innovation, then further how the innovation must be implemented so that he can generate for him and for the organization, for all people working and connected with that organization. So the final output comes as profit by implementing the idea and the service product what is he is inventing or innovating. So this is the major role of an entrepreneur. So how to achieve these miles? Now, what is the main challenges for innovators and entrepreneurs? Because once we have anything innovative and inventive, then we know we have a very good chances that the product, service, anything that we are coming up with can be copied by the other person, and not by other person. As an entrepreneur, we have to check the big players cannot take advantage because they already have the well set up platform and well skilled labor for that technology. So for an entrepreneur and as an innovator, a person must be have few aspects that must be looked into so that the other person cannot imitate easily. And if any person can imitate the innovation, what will be the solution for that as well? Entrepreneur must have a plan that we discussed in our slide one, that we already discussed that there will be a risk management. So these are the risks what can be in between while we start our journey of entrepreneurship. So we just need to take care about imitators and adapters, how to deal with all these entities in the era of this startup, while we have a day by day new innovations idea and new startup companies and new competitors. So these are the things in these are the important aspects. Innovation arises in cluster depending on credit. Imitator eventually wipe out gain from innovation. Innovators must keep a step ahead of rival for profits to continue. Means you have a plan and strategy and what to do when someone copied your innovation, and you have a thinking what your competitor and imitator or any adapter can do, and further by having that thinking, you can further have a step to move forward your organization for the better outcome and for increasing the profit and further make your products value in the market, in the global market, not even in the territory where you are working, even the new territory where you can plan in future. Your market must be should be achieve the product and milestones. So till here, anyone have any question, anything, you may please ask. So as we discussed that we have continuously a fear of copying our innovation, and any imitator can imitate our invention. So what is the best remedy and best solution to protect ourselves, to protect an entrepreneur, to protect his innovation and idea, is the intellectual property rights. So intellectual property rights is a way so that a person can achieve, can protect his intellectual property. Intellectual property means a property that is created by his mind, and further have innovation features. It can be novel, it can be inventive, it can be industrially applicability. So the entrepreneur must have all these things, and the importance of intellectual property must be known to the entrepreneur, so that other competitor or imitator cannot copy his product, his service, his method, whatever he's coming up with. So now, how many type of intellectual property an entrepreneur or innovator can have? It can be a copyright, it can be a trademark, it can be a patent, it can be industrial design. Sometimes it can be a confidential information. We have trade secrets examples already, and it can be a geographical indications. So role of intellectual property is very important when we start our journey of entrepreneurship. So we have these intellectual properties to which we can protect before entering to the market. That is copyright, industrial property, trademark, patent, industrial design, confidential information, and geographical indication. So what is the copyright kind of protection? Copyright kind of protection we have if any written description, any painting, any musical rhyme, any artistic work that is presented on paper itself. So we can go for this kind of intellectual property filing. Copyright is a kind of intellectual property where we have presentations in the form of written description, or in the form of musical rhymes, or the form of video. So these are the way to protect our innovation by copyright filing. So another important intellectual property is trademark. So trademark basically decides our brand value. It helps in evaluating our brand value by once we register a trademark. Let's say we have a Tata trademark, we have a Reliance trademark. So all have different brand value. So if we are planning to start any business as an entrepreneur, there must be some impression on the market through trademark. So once we decide any logo, any kind of special mark on our product, on our services, then we plan for trademark filing. So once we file the trademark, then we have protection over the for the impression of our logo, so that no one can other person copy our services or our product by placing the same logo. So if anyone have any logo, and the business is just started by that impression, so the person must go for trademark filing before starting all these things. So an entrepreneur, as an entrepreneur, you must have the well knowledge how to file and how to when to file these things. So as an entrepreneur, you must be aware about all these intellectual property. Now I'm coming on the another important intellectual property, that is patent. So patent basically comes where we have some technological advancement. So once we have any innovation that relates to a technology and that is having some novel, inventive, and industrial applicability over the current state of art, whatever the conventional machine system devices are working, but now the entrepreneur is having some new innovative idea in new technology that can have better outputs. So the entrepreneur must go for patent filing. Now the another intellectual property is industrial designs. Industrial design basically an intellectual property that deals with aesthetic and physical appearance of the product of the innovator. If have any kind of product that is having very attractive and eye appealing view, that is making his product physically different from others product. It can anything, you can have a even simple water bottle, even if you have some novel shape and novel structure and novel pattern over that water bottle surface. So you can plan for industrial design filing for that product. So as an entrepreneur, you must have to check whether your product, whether your final output is coming with these aspects or not. And if it is coming with these aspects, then the person must go for design filing as well. Another important intellectual property is confidential information. General term we use trade secrets. So sometimes we have few things that cannot be protected legally, but at the same time we can have better administration to make confidential that information. Coca-Cola recipe, Maggie, Nestle Maggie recipe, masala recipe, these are the best example of trade secrets. So where we think when we should go for confidential information kind of thing, when we have two aspects. One aspect that we know the re-engineering of the final product is not possible at all, then we plan for trade secret. If anything can be re-engineered, can never be part of trade secret. If re-engineering is not possible, then we can plan for trade secret. This is the important aspect. Second important aspect, if we have a better administration, we can have a better planning and strategy. For example, Coca-Cola. In my knowledge, what I know that Coca-Cola recipe is known to only two-person, and these two-person can never be meet at any single place. So this is the kind of strategy by Coca-Cola. So if we have any kind of strategy administration where we feel that we can protect our trade secret by these implementing these strategies, and at the same time re-engineering is not possible, at the same time we are not much interested in like more financial expense, because financial expenses also plays an crucial role in all intellectual properties, because you have to pay government fees to while go for filing these intellectual properties. Further, you also planning for attorneys fees, and after completing all work you also have to pay for maintenance of that intellectual property. So while you are going for confidential information, then you don't need to put your money in these expenses. So whenever we have these aspects. Re-engineer is not possible, and all these things. Yes. Yes. So what we was discussing that in confidential information we have these kinds of trade secrets that we plan to how to implement. The last intellectual property is geographical indication. In these, we have any product that is known for a particular territory. The innovation comes because of the place. Then we choose this geographical indication filing. So these are the intellectual property that must be keep aware by the entrepreneur, and while entering to the business, while entering starting his startup, so he must choose what is good for his business. Why IP protection is given? As we already discussed, that IP protection is generally protects your idea, and once your idea is protected, you can have a better view how the expense must be retained once the expense is spent through research. Then when and how it will be revert and make the profit. So through IP protection, you have the better profit in capital expenditure of new products, R&D, and further you can have the marketing and advertisement exemptions. Means you can without any fear you can market your product because IP is protected. You cannot have any fear of copying by imitators, as we discussed. So there is no freeloader as well, and further maintaining lower loyal followers. All these are the main aspects. So IP as a property, you can sell, you can bought, you can lease your idea, and you can also have a will for that intellectual property, and you can assign to other company as well. All these idea and all these innovation is protected by these three entities. IP office is established in every territory to protect your idea. External machinery you can also hire. Further, if both are not working, then the court are there. You can also have infringement suit filing to protect your idea if anyone is copying your idea before the high court or supreme court only. Is there a shortage of entrepreneur? Let's examine the factor that affects the entrepreneurship. These are occupational backgrounds and other experience, religious, social origin, mobility, other psychological factors, education. These all are points that is the major factors that affect any entrepreneur. So in any territory, we have these things that can have the uh, encouragement, motivation, and inspiration to start our business. So these are the important factors: religious, social origin, and especially occupational background. So these are the factors that affects any entrepreneur. Now, factor affecting demands for entrepreneur. Other factors are like other production factors and state of arts. Any question anyone have regarding any intellectual property filing or anything, please, anyone. Otherwise, yes. Thank you so much for listening me. If you have any doubt, you may call or you may mail me also.
Thank Thank you, Harish Sharma sir,
Yeah.
uh,
Thank,
who
thank you.
took uh, very nice the lecture delivery, and I hope all the faculty members and students are benefited um, by watching such fabulous video lecture. And I request Harish Sharma ji in nearby future we will again meet
Sure,
and we will again
sure.
work